So very nice to see you all. So I am delighted to be here this morning to with these 10 minutes to unpack DC typologies on a Monday morning. What a challenge. So as Boris mentioned last week, over time, the nature and the form of decentralized cooperation have changed. Previously, you know that the decentralized cooperation was centered more around transfer of aid from north to south and was mostly known as vertical partnerships. Today, it involves a complex variety of horizontal partnerships as well. So they are reflected in the Agenda 2030's principle of universality. Progressively, more recognition was given to partners in less capacitated context and limited resources. The table you see now is an abstract of one PLATFORMA study, which I recommend reading, by the way. And I take the opportunity to refer to the workbook, the TOT guide, where a few interesting links are quoted, including this study, the OECD study, and an interview of Agustí Fernández de Losada, and they are really relevant and they are complementary and useful to explore a bit further the topic of this morning. Coming back to this table, it summarizes the main types of decentralized cooperation, their related modalities, their most significant emerging flows, and the types of methodologies that are involved. This is, as Maria Alejandra presented, this is important to understand this typology. So if you have any question, please do not hesitate to ask. I hope I will be clear. So I will focus this morning on three main types of cooperation, which will be described, we will describe a bit further. So the first one, the direct cooperation. The second one will be the indirect and delegated cooperation. And the third one, development, education, and awareness raising. As for the first one, the direct cooperation, the basic definition is a partnership between local and regional governments, wherein resources, expertise, knowledge, and experience flow between territories in multiple directions between multiple actors. So originally it was north to south vertical partnerships, as I mentioned already, and today the flows are going in multiple directions, and this is the most common type of decentralized cooperation. It goes with different modalities that can be identified. The most commonly used by local and regional governments are the fourth following. So first, the vertical modality. It involves bilateral or multilateral relations. It refers traditionally to rich north, poor south transfer of aid. And it has been a move toward more horizontal approaches owing to their higher levels of ownerships. The second modality would be the territorial partnership one. This one refers to the creation of structured bilateral and multilateral horizontal relationships between local and regional governments. It also reflects the Busan principles of aid effectiveness that we described last week. And it fosters exchange of knowledge, expertise, shared innovation, and it focuses on reinforcing local strategies. The third modality would be the one going through local government agencies for international cooperation. This strengthens operational capacity through peer-to-peer learning, and it ensures as well more effective public policies and fosters innovation based on local knowledge. And the last one, which will both for PLATFORMA and UCLG not be the least one, is the network modality. The network modality emerged as a way to support decentralized cooperation by bringing together local and regional governments, their associations, and or multiple other multilateral stakeholders. The networks provide trainings, mutual learning, exchanges, as well as advocacy to create enabling environments for local and regional governance. Then we will go to the second type of, decentralized cooperation, the indirect cooperation. The indirect cooperation involves local and regional governments encouraging actions and development cooperation of other actors. It is structured around geographic or thematic priorities and it involves co-financing schemes. As for the modality, local and regional governments provide support to local NGOs through calls for proposals, for instance. And one key characteristic is the local associative fabric represented by NGOs, and that is committed, mobilized, and strengthened, contributing to development and greater social cohesion at local level. Some local and regional governments, especially large cities and stronger regions in federal countries, also use what we call delegated cooperation. Delegated cooperation is it's a second type of modality, and it's a bilateral agreement managed by a third actor or with organizations or agencies like the ones of the United Nations. The last point, the last type of decentralized cooperation would be the development, education, and awareness raising one. So decentralized cooperation's aims and funds are also used by these initiatives of development, education, and awareness raising that we also call global citizenship education now. And this focuses on encouraging active local citizenship in the global arena and on promoting sustainable development goals, peace, and human rights. This can be fostered by local and regional governments or NGOs, non-governmental organizations that specialize in decentralized cooperation. Here, decentralized cooperation is also an umbrella for scholarship programs, for instance, that finance visits of students and academics from partner countries. And I think I'm not even up to my 10 minutes. So I don't know if I think we are, that's done. I don't know if anyone has a question, if it was clear enough.
Can I ask something? I don't know, I still don't see it raised hand. Okay, thanks for that, Amandine, because I was not aware of all the details. In your opinion, which is the modality that works better? It's just a combination of those three elements, so it depends very much on what countries you're targeting, or is there like a privileged methodology in your opinion, or typology in general?
It depends a lot of the context. If we go back to the, we mentioned just a few modalities, but it's very interesting to dig into the methodology because here you have a lot more of possibilities to accompany to implement the project of decentralized cooperation. So to me, I really like the technical cooperation and the exchange of expertise. I think this has really contributed a lot to promoting change through a project on a longer term than one shot than financing a one-shot project, for instance. But that's a personal opinion. There are a lot of studies on that, and especially one I can give you some links here